a ton this year because they have a talented position.
Let's see what they do with it. Try to guard this. They go to one of the tight ends. And welcome to the NFL, Brock Bowers with your first.
3 tight ends again.
On 1st and 10.
Big play.
Down the field, wide open. It's Bowers again. And Bowers has a chunk play for the first time. This one goes for 26.
Just randomly occur, but this team has tried to make an effort to be stronger, more physical inside.
Minshew. That pass grabbed. Bowers has it. Feel like it. 2nd and 7. Complete.
Wow.
To the 45-yard line by Abdullah, and he downed it in the end zone.
Body, though.
What's that, Gene? As you see the
Yeah,
pass
exactly,
play for 8
Jim.
yards.
You know, when you're dealing with a situation like that, although the football is in the end zone bouncing, where the player is and not where the ball is.
Very cool for clarifying. Thank you. 2nd and 2. It's Minshew. Has the first down. Bowers goes down low to grab that one.
He knows Lamar Jackson, in his words, is the best player on the field. There's going to be moments when he goes off. They're trying to limit those. So far they have. And what a catch right there by Brock Bowers.
And Michael Mayer.
Minshew has time. Comes back the other way. High pass. Bowers makes the catch. Nice move after the catch by Bowers and nudged out of bounds by Roquan Smith.
Las Vegas Raiders start. They're almost at the 50-yard line.
With all 3 timeouts and 2:25 on the clock, here is Bowers on the reception. And he nudges out of bounds after picking up a yard on the play. Play fake. Minshew. He's got Bowers wide open at the 40. Brock Bowers bulldozes his way to the 32 before he's knocked out by Marcus Williams. Here is Bowers, and he is bottled up. Kyle Hamilton among the first to get there, along with Kyle Van Noy, a loss of 1. Minshew escapes, now throwing deep to Bowers at the 5, and Bowers still going. Brock Bowers bulldozes his way down to the 1.
Oh, man.
What a play by Bowers and Minshew.
That is number 17 going across the formation and settling in the slot, Devontae Adams.
Minshew, Bowers is wide open. Another Las Vegas first down for Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers, that's his 7th reception on the day. About how great he was at Georgia. He also is a willing blocker.
Minshew over the middle, right back to him. Bowers to the 20.
Bowers in the slot.
Minshew looking for Bowers. He's got it again. First down, Las Vegas.
And it's
That's the job of a head coach, to try to get this team back on track.
Minshew to the air. This is the tight end, Bowers.
Oh, boy.
And Bowers trying to get him into field goal range potentially.
Yes.
What a massive breakdown
Well,
there
that's
for the
huge.
Panthers. A pickup of 21.
Not giving Minshew a lot of escape lanes to try to improvise.
Minshew here. This will be a first down completion to Bowers.
Really have to be concerned with their lack of running the football. Could say, okay, maybe the Ravens, the Chargers, but that's going to be a problem because I just don't think they're good enough to be a one-dimensional passing offense, Spiro.
Bowers is the motion man, and here's his first catch of the afternoon. Denzel Ward able to bump him out. Madison stays in at tailback. Picks up one block, buys some time from Minshew and Brock Bowers, who the Browns have kept very quiet offensively today.
So the load in the run game goes to Alexander Madison. Swing pass on first down to Brock Bowers, the talented rookie tight end, out near the 35-yard line. Motion across from Samuel Schenker. Minshew wants to set up the screen. Instead, he'll float it over the middle. Jump ball, and it's Bowers down the sideline. The rookie from Georgia with the game's first score. 57 yards. On first down, Minshew feeds his tight end, and Bowers drilled immediately at the 11-yard line by Cody Barton. Minshew swings to Bowers. Bowers inside the 10. First and goal, Raiders at the 5. Flag is down. Minshew to Bowers on the sideline. That's what got this team going, was Bowers, and he's got a first down pending the flag. But O'Connell in a tough spot on 2nd and 20. Completes it to Brock Bowers, but nowhere to go because Sternad's right there again to make the tackle at the 14, just a 4-yard gain.
You know, avoid number 2, regardless of what side of the field he's on and where the play is supposed to go.
There's Bowers, driven down by Brandon Jones.
Were you so frustrated by the performance of Gardner Minshew that you think it's a season-long change? Or was it one of those situations where he was out of rhythm? He hadn't been playing well this afternoon.
Do you know this from experience? Grade school, middle school?
I was the one who got punched.
O'Connell feeds it over the middle. Catch is made by Bowers, and he's not going down. Bowers told us he's comfortable working with O'Connell. Called him a very good leader. Swing pass. Bowers trying to create after the catch. And 3 Steelers in the area as he picks up 8 yards.
You're talking about the first 2-3 rounds of the draft going at each other in every session.
2nd and 10. Feed it to Bowers. And Bowers told us just making the move from high school to college might have been the bigger jump than college to the pros. Let's get more from Evan. 2nd and 12. O'Connell hangs in there and a strike to Bowers.
Smith said, not after your wedding, I don't think so.
First down throw, read perfectly. Bowers gets hit immediately by Bishop.
And then the ones where the penalties that kept drives alive or killed drives hurt Las Vegas greatly today.
Short throw, Bowers after the catch gets the first down. Some things that have loss of 1. O'Connell working quickly here. And that pass is on time to Bowers. He will be short of the first down. First down inside the 20. O'Connell guns it. Caught by Bowers, short of the first down.
Shouted from the rooftops, but he demonstrated it in his play today.
First time the Steelers have been over 30 points this season. Bowers, another catch for him.
Right to the air. James the block in the tight end. Bowers has got it.
Bowers is in the slot.
And O'Connell's got the ball. Quickly outside. Caught by Bowers. Hit by Curl. They get the first down to the far sideline, 43.
There is some of that where you just got to go with the flow of the game.
It's a 3rd and 9 into the nickel. It's caught here. Bowers on the fly. Chased by Witherspoon and knocked out of bounds by McCullough.
He moved on to the Jets.
Fake to Madison Minshew. And he's got Bowers. First down. Knocked out of bounds by the safety Cam Curl.
Once again showing pressure with guys at the line of scrimmage.
Need the 50s. 2nd and 16. Bowers grabbed from behind by Witherspoon. Amir Abdullah is the back. Bowers on the move. 3rd down 3. Raiders 3 timeouts. And a little shovel pass. The reliable Bowers. Ahkello Witherspoon is in. 2nd down 8. Empty backfield. And they've got Bowers again. Brought down by Roseboom. Drags him at the 38. Bowers today 7 catches. 8. 132, 2 picks. 2nd and 11. Bowers, who is grabbed by Reeder near the 44-yard line, shy of the first by a couple.
You see how I get nervous for the quarterbacks when they're trying to make that?
I can hear it in your voice. 3rd and goal with Madison. The fake. Minshew. Bowers. What a play by Lake. What a play by Quentin Lake. 3rd and 6. Gardner Minshew. Blocked by Madison. Outside to go. Bowers into Cook. And they got the first down. Glaze a block. And to the air, the tight end Bowers. Grabbed by McDuffie. Glaze a block. Bowers Bowers, first down, diving right there. Tripped up on the play by Connor. And Cody Whitehair played at K-State. Now at the left guard, 1st and 20. And underneath here, it's a catch. Minshew. They're bringing him again. Outside Bowers. Reed will try to get him. He does. Near the first down to the 32 of the Chiefs.
So a 1st down and 10 from the 46. Minshew checks it down to Bowers, and Bowers up the sideline with another good gain and close to another to be comfortable enough to get the first. Minshew finds Bowers. That's a pretty good answer, and a 1st down to the 42-yard line. Coming out for his first action today, and he throws his first pass as a Raider, and he finds Brock Bowers for a gain of a couple.
It's specifically for him, and they wanted to get some action for him this afternoon.
Pressure comes, he stands in and gets rid of it to Brock Bowers, and down to the 41-yard line.
The Mahomes and the Bradys and the Rodgers when you talk about interception percentage. So it was very strange to him trying to work through that process too.
Ridder on the roll, throws for the end zone, and a touchdown grab by Brock Bowers. And the rookie with his 2nd touchdown catch. 22 yards from Ridder, and the Raiders are on the board with 41 seconds to go.